guys, Stan Prokopenko here. This is part 3 of a 3-part series on the Loomis method. If you missed the first 2, links are in the description. In the other 2 videos, I showed you the basics of the Loomis method and then how to adapt it to any head shape.
So once you get comfortable with the Loomis method, you don't have to follow each line step by step. You can apply it to your drawing intuitively. It's kind of like after you learn anatomy, you don't add every bone and muscle to your figure drawings. You let the knowledge inform your decisions throughout the drawing. So most of the time, I don't follow the step-by-step formula that I showed you earlier. I think about the basic forms, but I'm not literal with each line. As I draw the shapes that are more specific to the person, I imagine the Loomis head. It's kind of a combination of what I know and my observation of the subject. And I'll scatter parts of the simple forms throughout. For example, I didn't start with a circle, cut off the sides, and add the jaw. Instead, I started with the overall shape of the head. Then I found only a part of the side plane at the forehead, where it's most obvious. And then I started observing more specific angles along the outer edge, and I started applying a few of those, the curves from the brow to the top of the ear, and from the bottom of the nose to the bottom of the ear. All the same lines, just not in really the same order, just in an order that made sense as I was drawing it, as I'm measuring things, as they make sense to me. I'm thinking of the Loomis head concept, and I'm applying it. And I'm just being more specific to his likeness and the shapes I'm seeing on his head. And I'm just kind of letting the Loomis head inform what is happening under the surface. I'm going to start putting some features on, just because I'm being specific to what I'm actually seeing. So sometimes the side of the head or side of the face here, like the contour here, is the nose. It's not the cheekbone. So I'm seeing the tip of the nose all the way up here, kind of by the top of the bridge. Just because we are looking up at him so much that the tip of the nose is we're seeing so much of this bottom plane that the tip of the nose is all the way up here. Very counterintuitive. If you're not careful and you don't observe, you might just draw it kind of like more of a neutral pose where the tip of the nose is closer to the bottom of the nose. But really, this line here that goes to the side of the bottom of the ear, that's the base of the nose. That's where it connects to the face. And then I like to kind of create a bottom plane shape, and then from there figure out the eye socket negative shape from the nose, something like that. I'm still comparing angles, right? This is a parallel to this, You gotta remind myself, this is a quick sketch. I'm not doing a laying of his head. I mean, I guess I kind of am, right? It's just a quicker laying. Okay, I feel like that's probably good for the lay-in, or sorry, not a lay-in. Probably good enough for this quick sketch. If I go any further, I'm just gonna start adding details that really don't, that are kind of outside this concept of the concept of this video, just of Loomis heads. So there you go. Okay, and this next one, I'm gonna approach it again in more of an intuitive way, but I'm gonna do a back pose. I don't think I've ever really shown you guys how the Loomis head applies from the back. So let's start this. Okay, angle, very general angle from forehead to chin. I'm seeing the jaw kind of going like this. There's a curve like that, but that's just the skin being pinched because she is bringing her chin in towards her neck. Once you have the Loomis head more as a kind of an intuitive approach, you'll start to be able to imagine what things are like. Even though I don't see most of the angles of her face, I can kind of imagine what they are, right? Like, there's not that many options of what could be happening back there. So I have the neck connecting to the base of the skull. I guess I'm going to try to ignore the hair for now. Kind of. I mean, it's tight on her head, so it's not that far off. But all the hair right here, I'm just going to ignore that and draw the back of her skull. The neck attaches. A center line along the neck helps. And then the ear attaches, what, like somewhere like right there? It's very close to the edge. Kind of like this. Very awkward angle for the ear too. We don't usually see it like this. So the side plane is like right here. And she's bringing her chin in, which means there's kind of a down tilt. So if I were to see through the neck, I would see that the other side of the jaw is like somewhere in here, connects to the chin. You got the bottom plane of the jaw like right there, but I don't see all that. That's covered by the neck. This would all be parallel to this angle that I drew. Very important to keep track of all your parallels, especially the horizontal parallels. That keeps everything on the face aligned. If the eyes are going this way, the nose is this way, and the lips are back this way again, and then the chin is this way, you can feel the distortion. I mean, obviously everything here is a horizontal, everything going along from eye to eye, nostril to nostril, lip to lip, unless you got an expression, you could raise your eyebrow higher, but the skull underneath still stays parallel. Your eyebrows might go up, but you still have that structure of the brow ridge that is parallel, so that kind of stuff. You still need to keep those parallels tracked correctly. Okay, so brow ridge, we don't really see the nose, but it would be here, kind of back here, as I wrap this line around. But we do see that little rhythm from the top of the ear, connecting to the cheekbone. I feel like I need to bring the neck out more, closer to the chin. I'm not capturing that inward angle. And then that means I made the neck too wide, so I have to bring this in. There you go. These are quick sketches. We can make these quick adjustments. And a few gestural strokes for the hair. I'm just trying to create some kind of nice design in there, attractive shapes, and trying to do it quickly. Alright, good enough for this. It's a back view. If I were to really go further with this, I would just try to make my hair attractive. Like, this whole drawing would be about the hair, and I didn't really give too much attention to the hair. So, it's kind of an ugly sketch, but hey, the Loomis head underneath is kind of working, right? Let's see. Let's do a few more, and I'm just gonna. I want to show you guys a little bit more about placing features on the Loomis head. Okay, so last one, we got Lucy Lou. Great structure, especially on the cheekbones. Pretty much kind of an average. You got those average thirds going on there. A lot of the proportional tricks that we follow will align here. So I'm going to start with that circle, following the process, just to keep this well structured. typically on a female, on a kind of an average female, the difference in the jaw from a male is the angles here. On a male, you'll have a more squared off angle, so it'll come down, kind of straight down, and then over. On a female, it'll start going forward much quicker, and then just kind of, average. If you're just thinking of general, male, general, female. And I do see that on her as well. From the ear, she's got a very strong forward angle. You can still have a sharp corner here as it goes to more of that bottom plane, but the angle goes forward from the ear. I want to just get this average Loomis head kind of placed in so that I could start showing you guys the features. And I'm just going to do a little bit just because this isn't a features lesson. I feel like her cheekbones are so important because they're so large and defined that I need to place them before I put all the other features in. Because when I put the other features in, I'm going to be judging everything based off of what's there. And if I judge things in this area around, base it off of this line, I'm going to be off quite a bit. Like if I start putting the nose in here. That's why it's important to do big shapes first, then go to details. Because you're going to base your details off of the big shapes you have on there already. Or the shapes, any shapes that you have on there already. And if you don't have the big shapes figured out correctly, your details will be wrong. Usually. Okay, for the brow ridge, we have this line kind of as an equator around the sphere, but the eyebrows don't follow that. There's more of an arc this way, right? And then back down on the sides. And then from there we get kind of the side of the nose. From this point right here, that's where the nose connects, right on the center line. That's where I look for where the edges of the nostrils will be. And then the tip of the nose isn't going to be right in the middle. It depends on the angle, right? If she is facing this way, and so the tip of the nose is going to be all the way over here. Okay. I'm probably not going to get that great of a likeness just because I usually need to spend a longer time measuring things out and like really figuring out all the shapes. Some people can get a likeness immediately, but in a quick sketch, I kind of just, hopefully it looks like a woman, right? So from the nostrils go up, that's generally where the tear ducts are going to be. And then her eyes are angled. The lips don't fall on the straight line here for the center line. The tooth cylinder kind of protrudes out from it, and the lips protrude out from it. But from this center line, I usually kind of extend a curve to the top of the chin, and then the chin also comes out from that. So that's kind of a more accurate center line. In fact, most of the places along the center of the face don't actually line up with the center line. The center of the nose is actually here, it comes out, and then right here it aligns again, and then the brow ridge is actually there, and then it kind of does this sort of thing for the center line. So the center line goes, over all the features. But it's good to think for this, the lips, just this cylinder kind of puck shape. And from there, I like to find an angle from the nostril to the corner of the lips. From here, it's almost straight down. Bottom of the bottom lip is about halfway. And this is almost a straight horizontal line. And then remember the middle is right there, so that's where I'm going to put that little V shape of the top of the lip. Okay, that's pretty much all the feature information. I'm just gonna add the hair, and then we're all done.
Cool, so I think that's a good enough resemblance to call this one decent. If you still have any questions, let me know in the comments, and check back for more 12 Days of Proco Quick Sketch Edition. I got a lot more good stuff coming. I'll see you tomorrow.